The conference has been a wonderful time for networking and for discussing and for exchanging brilliant ideas from the high caliber of experts we had in this meeting.
My name is Meyasi Molel, Director of Serengeti Preservation Foundation. African Animal Welfare Conference has been a great connection for all wildlife experts in terms of connections. Also the logistics. The presentations were really good, especially on how the communities are change makers of conservation. Personally, I've benefited from the presentations. Presentations are useful for myself. I'll use them in my country, especially for our organization where our focus is community empowerment in conservation. And I think one of the key factors that I've noted down is the change maker of conservation is community involvement. And how can this happen is by trust. The community should get trust from organization or expert dealing with conservation. So I really thank you, African Animal Network, for conducting this workshop, and it has been great and a lot of connections.
Lots of things have been discussed, and this ranged from animals used in research and the different alternatives that exist, and how much technology has brought forward better ways of carrying out accurate research without harming animals or the humans. Issues of illegal wildlife trade and how the United Nations Environment Resolution comes into play. How the nexus between animal welfare and human welfare and the environment is brought about by effects of pollution and environmental degradation, which affects climate change, food security, and even human and animal health. There have been great discussions about factory farming and sustainable diets and how we can better manage our consumerist behaviors to ensure that we have a better, healthier environment for us and for the generations to come.
Okay, well, the conference has been really wonderful here at the United Nations Environment Centre. We've learned so much about different animal welfare issues across Africa and particularly Kenya, and I was really happy to come and represent Save the Elephants to talk about our innovative project working with farmers to reduce human-elephant conflict. In our case, we're using beehive fences to reduce conflict between farmers and elephants. So we've hoped that we've contributed to this conference, and we're very interested to meet a lot of other experts from around the continent.
This conference is very important because it is coming at a time that knowledge in terms of the sentient nature of animals, the fact that animals feel emotions, they feel pain, they experience the sort of fears we experience. Now, this conference is coming at a time that such knowledge is at an advanced stage, and therefore that is why it is necessary to look for other methods of using the animals or conducting things like research or even in a veterinary education which does not use methods that are likely to cause excessive or continued suffering in the animals.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot begin to summarize in this short speech how much we have discussed in this conference. But that being said, it wouldn't have been possible without you being there to contribute and ask critical questions about things that you think affect animal welfare in Africa. And for that reason, we thank you a lot. But we would also like to let you know that because of the discussions that were held and the time constraints and not being able to conclude everything in a perfect manner, we are planning for a similar event come next year, September, same venue, same ground, and same people.
My name is Fawzy Elnady. I am Doctor of Veterinary Medicine and Professor of Veterinary Anatomy and Embryology at the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Cairo University. I really enjoyed the attendance of the Animal Welfare Conference here in Nairobi, 2017. I met a lot of people from various countries all over the world. Actually, I was not expecting these varieties, mostly from Africa, but some people from England, other from the States, from Morocco, everywhere. We are gathered for the sake of animal welfare. We discussed a lot of issues. Some of them, for myself, I was talking about the alternatives, various alternatives, and the tremendous changes with the new technologies of in using the alternatives, especially in research, how the newly developed organs on chips have been used in research. Also, some people talk about the laws and legislations in Kenya and how they should be implemented in reality. Actually, all the topics are very interesting. The benefit will be fruitful in the near future. And I think it has become changed since previous conferences in 2009 and in 2015. I think there is a lot of a change has already happened.
This year, we had over 25 different nationalities across Africa represented at the conference. All of them very passionate about animal welfare and human welfare and environmental conservation. We had 15 experts coming from different countries outside Africa, coming to discuss and bring out lessons learned by other developed countries about handling challenges facing animal welfare and environmental conservation in the West and even in the East. And for that particular reason, there is demand, and we feel that it would be necessary to repeat the same and provide a better platform for such discussions to be held. My dear friends, for the longest time ever, animal welfare discussions and conversations have been held on corridors and on streets. All of this coming as afterthoughts of critical decisions made about development and infrastructural changes in different countries across Africa. It's about time that animal welfare made it to the boardrooms, that animal welfare and environmental conservation was considered at each and every critical point of decision making at governments, intergovernmental organizations, and even different other corporates that deal with animals or humans or the environment in one way or the other. So come you all again next year, September 2018, for Africa Animal Welfare Conference 2018. If you missed out this year, don't miss out next year. It's gonna be big.